Yeah guys, Ethan here, spec their profile after after set 14. You should have seen our case opening by now, because I'm pretty sure that's going up first.
Not, for God's sake, mate, sort it out.
It will be sorted, don't worry.
Hopefully. So first, 2 Mecha Trainer. You don't need as many as you did before because you don't need that many heals.
Hurry up and dust.
I will, 1 minute. Let's get for the deck first.
What kind of a game do you think this is?
An anime card game.
A children's card game. Triggers.
On motorcycles.
4 draw. 4 stand. 4 crit. 4 heal.
Boo.
Rainbow.
Rainbow. Boo.
Boo.
4 Lindsay, obviously, because they counter charge, and Soul Charge, which you just counter charge to Liar Lips, because it's basically an extra draw trigger, and also crits to help you get the stuff.
Look at him speeding through because he doesn't want this to interrupt anymore.
How did you know? Draws, Margot Clone, so obviously you run that for the stand. Mecha Trainer, stand trigger, bad in spikes, but the second effect is really good. Basically, you can create a loop with Great Star, which makes you have like at least 9 attacks in spikes, which is good for a dust turn, which takes about 18 cards from your opponent's hand, which is good. Next, Ty's probably going to say something. 2 PGs.
You are insane!
I hope that picks up on camera. I hope that picks up on camera.
You are insane, good sir.
We don't need between 2 and 3. You don't need 4. We kill your opponent usually on first, second stride, so you don't need more than 2. I don't think.
So
but between 2 and 3, you can run personally.
you make me so mad.
Next, 3 Create Elemental tier. Create Element tier. Subblast 2, when placed on Vanguard, you may pay the cost if you do. Unflip for every Create Elemental in your D zone, which almost all your D zone is. So basically you counter charge up to 5 or however many you got face up. Usually it's free, so it's a pretty good way of getting dust for free essentially. 4 Frog Raider, we want consistency, and getting 2 Frog on the field on dust turn is absolutely horrible. So you want 4 and want consistency, that's why you want 4. 4 Stride Fodder to help you get your grade 3 that you need, ideally. Next, 1 Mayhem. He's not really needed anymore with G guards and grade 2s and stuff not being in the Guardian Circle anymore when you dust. So we drop down to 1. He's still good in case you hell hot or something, so last call, Mayhem Tiger. Also with dust stopping some PGs, he's even more useless now because you'd only call him down so your opponent to make your opponent call the PGs out of hand or the G guards. But since your opponent can't G guard and dust turn, and some PGs are useless, he's down to 1. Next, 110k because you can search out with Jelly Beans. 2 Poker, Unlocker, Chaos is in meta moment, so obviously Poker. 2 Heaveries, I find it really useful. It's charge 10k. I find it really useful on dust turns if you need the extra damage and the stand trigger is enough. Let's say your opponent gets defensive triggers, you just call this down instead and it's 19k, so they need at least 2. So if they get 1 trigger or 2 triggers which can stop the stand trigger, you still have a high enough power. 4 Blackguard, because this can also combo off with Great Star, and it's really good in general because it's another combo that you can make that can also take 18 to 20 cards out of your opponent's hand, and charge against 5k as well, so it's 14k on your opponent's 1, which is always good. 2 Jelly Beans. This can be between 2 or 3, again up to you, because you don't really need that anymore because you only need 2 heals in hand for first stride dust, or 1 if you're going first stride anyway. So 2 Jelly Beans because you don't need that much, mostly only used for the 10k or the heals obviously. 3 Great Star. This can be 3 or 4. I'm doing 3 for my first profile of it. So he helps get the combos off. He's one that you want to ride to call to Vanguard, or not ride, sorry. He is just the one that you want to call now to help you get combos off. Now the main ride, SP Rising Over. Thank God I can put SPs back in the tech. 2 from Tech Booster, 2 from BT14 SP pack. Obviously, use it for a strike skill on attack, command plus 1, card from hand to soul, call a card. So it helps you get the Great Star out that you need, and then you use the Great Star skill to then call out Mecha Instructor or Blackguard or something, or anything else. So it helps you with consistency of getting extra attacks on your dust turn. Plus, if you've got your field set up with dust, then it's just 1 extra attack when your Vanguard attacks. Next, G-Zone. G-Guards first. 2 Hecaton Geist. You don't really need 2 of it, but you don't really need also Create Elementals either anymore. So you just run 2 just for the variance and more options really. Next, a Gleam. This can be this or the Fight Selection one. Both do the same thing, but I just like this because it actually costs a lot more than the shiny one. But you can go this or shiny one really, they do the same thing. On place, discard 1, draw. It's really good and it's a Create Elemental. Dismal, just another Create Elemental. 3 Linus. On flipping G guard, obviously you need 3, so you can still do the Hell Hard 8 if you have enough heals in hand early game. And it's just obviously the second one that you go into, because the first turn dust you need to go into one of your normal ones on any normal attack, and then if your opponent attacks with anything else, you just go Linus, unflip a Cray Elemental, and then you've got your free face up, and you've also got Cray Elemental face up. Hell Holiday, obviously, because you're still in Hell Holiday. Next, 2 Pigro, mostly because you've got extra room. You don't really need a second, but there's not really anything else you want to put in here anyway, because Agrius requires a Fate to flip himself, so you might as well just run 2 Pigro in case you get in that bad trouble, and you can also take it out for G-Assist as well, if you have to. 2 Agrius. He's still a good first stride. He's not your first stride in Dust Build anymore, unfortunately, but he's still a good first stride in case you have all your grade 2s, or your charge units in hand, really, to get you that extra advantage and extra attacks. Subscrbe, obviously because Subscrbe. 2 Merindor, this is usually your first stride. It's a Cray Elemental, same with Subscrbe. And act, if you flip anything for your G-Zone, usually Subscrbe or God of Copy itself. And it gains a skill when this unit attack hits the Vanguard, choose one of your Ray Gods, and it gains 5k for every face-up card in your G-Zone. So basically, if your unit... I usually just ride this with nothing cord, just because it gets 2 face-up in G-Zone if it's my first ride, and it lets me keep hardening the cards in hand. If I do have to, unfortunately, ride Star, I ride him and then call anything else, because then Star's GB2 skill can go off to put a card from Ray God into Soul. So yeah, it's basically just use the first stride to get Cray Elemental's face-up for tier. And now... Dust. I mean, it's just, what can I say? Like, it's... what the deck's based around.
And then you like fail on it because your opponent has 12 perfect guards in hand.
You can't do your guard, you don't have 8 perfect guards in Wave anymore when you're Dust.
Yeah, you're right.
For everyone that doesn't know what it does, you should know though, but what it does, Ultimate Stride obviously, and on place of Vanguard. Unfortunately it's on place and not act, it'd be a lot easier for us that, but on place, Canvas 2, when placed on Vanguard Circle, you may pay the cost. If you do until end of turn, your opponent's Vanguards and Rear Guards lose all of their abilities, including to intercept. And their grade and power decrease or increase to 1. If the number of cards in your opponent's damage zone is 4 or less, choose one of your opponent's Vanguards and deal 1 damage, perform a damage check. Triggers will activate. First, it got the errata, which is fine. But second, I think if it got the errata, it should have nullified trigger checks. Because it has the triggers get activate to make it fair before the errata. But I think since Overlord can nullify triggers, this should be able to nullify triggers since it's meant to be able to destroy everything.
Stop being salty.
No!
One of the 2 dusts we've got.
No! Not going to stop me so about that damn errata. I didn't read it. Anyway, yeah. That's what deck's based around. So, as always guys, happy gaming, and goodbye.